Turm des Sachsenrings, sagt damit Guten Morgen zum drittletzten Meisterschaftswochenende des Jahres, verneigt sich aufrichtig und mit allerhöchstem Respekt vor dem Menschen, der so unfassbar viele bemerkenswerte Zahlen geschmückt mit tollen Geschichten hier präsentiert hat, verneigt sich vor unserem aktuellen Tabellenführer Larry ten Voorde. Unser Tagesgeschäft 3,645 Kilometer lang, dieser Rennkurs mit tollen äußeren Bedingungen. Wir reden so um die 25 Grad Asphalt und eben auch Lufttemperatur. Und wir reden über die mögliche Nachfolgeschaft eines Larry ten Voorde. Könnten das Menschen sein wie Alex Tauscher, wie ein Robert de Haan, Jannis Diak oder vielleicht ein Theo Oeberhaus? Fragezeichen, Herr Schimon.
Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Attacke.
What amazing battles going on.
Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness.
Da wird's eng. Wow, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move.
Das ist Rennsport at its best.
Welcome along, everybody. We are in the glorious Saxony countryside.
Geile
Not
Idee,
far away
werter
from
Kollege, und damit
Chemnitz. We
übernehme
are
ich mal
at
den
one
Ring
of the
auf den
absolute
Schmeiß
highlights
denselbigen
of the
aufs Bett
Porsche
und
Sixt
und sage,
Carrera Cup Germany
noch einmal
calendar.
willkommen zum
We are
Porsche
at
Sixt
the
Carrera
Sachsenring.
Deutschland.
What a great day for a bit of racing. A great day for the first of two races for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany this weekend. Races 11 and 12 of a 16 race calendar, and we are about to get underway with race 11. Conditions are absolutely perfect. 25.7 degrees centigrade air temperature. Track, well, it says 24.3 on your graphic. It feels very, very warm out there. It was qualifying yesterday where Theo Oeberhaus earned his second ever pole position in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He had his first pole in the second race of the season at Imola earlier on in the year, back in April. And it was Huber van Eindhoven who qualified alongside him. Both drivers looking for their first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. The body language says it all. Huber van Eindhoven ready to fight, but a man who appears to have been stealing the headlines this weekend. Spoiler, this man here will be starting on pole position tomorrow. He's got a dress rehearsal today. Jannis Diak lining up third on the grid. A very solid drive for him in the Team 75 Bernhard Porsche. It's championship leader Larry ten Voorde who lines up fourth on the grid, and fifth, his main championship rival, Harry King. But Larry ten Voorde, who leads the championship by 24 points, something of the crest of a wave at the moment. He clinched the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup Championship last weekend at Monza. He dropped the bombshell to tell us that he was going to be retiring from Porsche Cup racing. Harry King would really love to spoil Larry ten Voorde's final season in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany by stealing the title away from him. Well, he's got 6 races to close up a 24-point gap. Not only has he got Larry ten Voorde to deal with, but he's got a lot of young chargers all around him, none more so than Flint Schuring, who is our leading rookie qualifier. He has pole position in the rookies, and Flint Schuring, who is looking for the rookie championship. That at the moment moment is being led by Robert De Haan. Another of the rookies, Colin Berninghausen, he had a solid qualifying session as well as he lines up just a bit further back from Flint Schuring and ahead of Ariel Levy and Senna van Serlen. So in the rookie standings, it is Robert De Haan who leads the way with 183 points ahead of Cas Havercourt. Both drivers had fairly difficult qualifying sessions, and for tomorrow's race, Robert De Haan will be starting from the very back row of the grid. So today, he needs to make hay while the sun shines, almost literally, and Robert De Haan will be starting from 13th place on the grid. So a bit of work to do there. He's going to be mid-pack. Cas Havercourt, his main rival in the Rookie Championship, will be starting from 10th place. Flint Schuring, who is third in the championship, ahead of both of those drivers. So De Haan has 183, 15 points back as Cas Havercourt in the Rookie Championship. Flint Schuring, 25 points back from them. So by no means out of the reckoning. In the Pro-Am race, Søren Spreng is leading the championship there. He's 10 points ahead of Michael Esman. Ahmed Al-Shahab is once again missing from the racing this weekend. So very much a two-horse race in the Pro-Am Championship, and Søren Spreng lines up on pole in the Pro-Am category in this race. He's starting 21st on the grid. There is confirmation of the overall championship standings, a 24-point lead for Larry ten Voorde over Harry King. So Harry King will want to get in front of Larry ten Voorde as quickly as possible. One of his main rivals, third in the championship, Robert De Haan, a little way back. So get the feeling Harry King might be pretty eager to get his elbows out and get past the gold and black #1 Porsche. Larry ten Voorde, the championship leader, the reigning champion in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, looking to make it 4 championships before he retires. It's Theo Overhaus who starts on pole position. Huub van Eindhoven alongside him. Janis Stiak and Larry ten Voorde share row 2 of the grid. On row 3, Harry King and Flint Schuring line up alongside each other. And on row 4 of the grid, Colin Berninghausen and Ariel Levy from Israel. On row 5 of the grid, Senna van Serlen and Cas Havercourt, an all-rookie row 5 of the grid. And on row 6, James Kellett from Great Britain and our newest winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Alex Tauscher. He won at Nürburgring last time out. Robert De Haan, long way back for him. Carol Krent lines up alongside him. Then Jan Savert and Nathan Sharp on row 8 of the grid. On row 9, Keanu Bloom and Sebastian Freimuth. And on row 10, it's Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Horst Felix Felbermayr. Next up is the pole sitter in the Pro-Am race. Søren Spreng has his main championship rival, Michael Esman, alongside him. And then bringing up the rear of the pack, Kai Pfister. And we welcome back Christoph Langer, racing for ID Racing this weekend. We are missing Marvin Klan. He is taking part in Porsche Carrera Cup Italia this weekend. He will be back at the Red Bull Ring for the next round. We are at the Sachsenring, a circuit that is 3.645 kilometers around, 13 turns, 4 to the right and 9 to the left. We run in an anti-clockwise direction, which is fairly unusual in this day and age, but one of the characteristics of this track is the undulation. Lots of gradient, 12.8% in some places. Lots of blind crests, lots of bravery required. It is a track that eats the tyres, and it is a track that requires tyre preservation. Also, there isn't any runoff area. The track is surrounded by some very deep gravel traps. You get it all wrong, you're going to end up in the gravel. Overtaking, not always easy here, but into turn 1, good exit out of turn 13, and into turn 1 is the best opportunity for an overtaking move to be made. It is 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing Sachsenring. And it's Theo Overhaus for the second time in his career for Bonk Motorsport, who lines up on pole position. Both he and Huub van Eindhoven looking for their first ever wins in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. So this launch into turn 1 is going to be very important. We have clearance from the back to say that all is good to go. We have 5 red lights on, 5 red lights off, both of the front row starters with a good launch. And it's Theo Overhaus who moves across to shut the door in front of Huub van Eindhoven. Into turn 1 they come. Eindhoven taking a little look on the outside, but Janis Stiak in that third place will want to fill any gaps that he sees in front of him. Down around turn 2 towards Castrol Omega, which is turn 3. A tricky corner to get right, but it's Theo Overhaus leading from Huub van Eindhoven. Janis Stiak, the rest of the cars fighting through. I can see Colin Bernighausen going wide around the outside, trying to make his move up through the pack, but all the cars have made it up the blind crest. They come towards turns 4 and 5, and then it's downhill again towards turn 6. Everybody looks to have made it. Theo Overhaus leading the way. The car's settling into single file, but challenges further back going on. Overhaus coming round towards a part of the track that is nicknamed the Waterfall, and you'll see it in just a few moments. It will be the big drop out of turn 11 down towards turn 12, reaching speeds of 250 kilometers an hour before the heavy braking into turn 12. Difficult corner to get right and not go wide, but that's exactly what Theo Overhaus does. You can see him just kicking up a bit of gravel. Several of the cars behind doing that as well. Up to turn 13 they come, and out onto the pit straight, complete lap number 1 of race 11, Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Right, this is important. Larry ten Voorde, championship leader, under pressure. Harry King having a look to the outside. Flint Schuring looking to fill the gap as well. Larry ten Voorde keeping it tidy. Harry King goes deep into the corner. Flint Schuring not able to make any moves there at the moment. You can see from your graphic a number of people have dropped positions. We saw Colin Bernighausen on the wide outside. He's managed to lose 6 places at the start of this race, but it's our pole sitter who continues to lead, opening a gap from Huub van Eindhoven. Janis Stiak in there as well, looking for his second ever podium. Larry ten Voorde in that 4th place. He's fended off the challenges from Harry King at the moment. I mentioned earlier that tyres may be an issue. We've seen it here in the past. If you go too hard too soon in this race, you may have no grip left when the half hour is up. So the drivers need to play the long game here. It is a short race as somebody goes very wide. That's Robert De Haan going extremely wide out of turn 10, down the waterfall. That was out of turn 11. Down the waterfall he comes. But Robert De Haan not having the best of luck at the moment. He's behind the number 44 car of James Kellett. James Kellett, who's been loving his time here at the Sachsenring. Look at this, heading up towards turn 13. Robert De Haan, he's impatient. He wants to get back into the championship challenge. He's down in the gravel now. There is somebody, it's one of the ID racing cars. It's Keanu Bloom, who's gone wide out of turn 13. He's kept it out of the gravel. At least he's not become bedded down in the gravel, so he keeps going, but he's lost a load of places. In the meantime, Alex Tauscher has been noted, as indeed has Harry King, for starting in an incorrect grid position. So 2 cars having been noted, one very significant second in the championship. We look again at Keanu Bloom out of turn 13, just going wide on the outside of Jan Safer. A bit of drifting, keeps it out of the barrier, keeps it out of the gravel, keeps it out of the Pirelli sign as well, continues out on to the pit straight. So no major harm done there. It was a bit of contact from that car in front of him that saw him going wide. You saw the puff of blue smoke, and it was Jan Seifert in the 98 car that was just ahead of him, and a load of places are lost by Keanu Bloom. But 2 cars that are under investigation for potentially an incorrect starting position. Harry King is one of them, our newest winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Alex Tauscher is the other. Alex, who is fighting illness at the moment, has not been feeling well, but if he started out of position, there may well be a penalty incoming. Right, here's 1st, 2nd, 3rd coming over the hill. Theo Overhaus is broken clear. In 2nd place, Huub van Eindhoven seems to have Janis Stiak covered off for the time being. Further back, Jan Seifert challenging Sebastian Freimuth. In the background is Søren Spreng, who is leading in the Pro-Am race. He's up to 15th place. His main challenger in the Pro-Am category, Michael Esmer, down in 21st. See how hard these drivers are pressing on as the dust is kicked up into the air. So the blue and yellow car that passes through your screen has Søren Spreng, the one that is further back of the two of the blue and yellow cars. The other one is Sebastian Freimuth. Pretty similar liveries on those. Right, car 98, a penalty lap one time for pushing another car off the track. So that incident we saw with Keanu Blum means that Jan Seifert is going to have to visit the penalty box. It is a 50-meter box that is painted on the exit of turn 1, and he is going to have to visit that and pass through at no more than 80 kilometers an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, as we look again at Robert De Haan. You can see how hard he's pushing, how wide he's going, a sense of maybe a little bit of desperation for car 14 as he tries to get himself back into the championship battle, but he's currently down in 12th place at the moment. There's James Kellett and Robert De Haan running side by side. So De Haan trying to challenge for 11th place, but James Kellett, who is very dialed in here, was frustrated with his qualifying time because really felt as though he could have been somewhere up in the top 5 on the grid, but for a very, very minor mistake. The car is very dialed in. ID Racing, who prepared that car, one of 3 on the grid, but Robert De Haan at the moment has that 11th place stolen away. De Haan continuing his march forward through the pack. Our leading rookie is Flint Schuring, who's running in 6th place at the moment. Flint Schuring, who's won in the rookie category once before this season, and that was at Imola at the season opener. So we'd love his 2nd rookie win of the year. The quickest man on the track, though, is Cas Havercourt, down in 10th place, just showing how much potential he's got. Down the waterfall they come. Theo Overhaus leading Hu van Eindhoven. It was 1.649 seconds last time they crossed an interval timer. In 3rd place, Jan Stiak. Championship leader Larry ten Voorde in 4th place. Keeping one eye on any notifications in case there are any penalties dished out. Harry King with an investigation over his head about a starting position. And up into turn 13 we come. The rest of the cars fighting through. There's Horst Felix Feldmayer in the number 88 car. He's in 14th place. Jan Seifert has passed through the penalty box on the exit of turn 1. He has to pass through that no more than 50 kilometers an hour, and that was for that incident. There's Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Nathan Sharp. So Nathan Sharp was in 16th place. Gianluca Tucciaroglu in now up into that 16th place. Nathan Sharp down to 17th place. One of the Allied Racing drivers, Jan Kaspelik's Allied Racing, the team that bring on drivers and train them. We've seen his drivers coming through the ranks over the years. We've seen the likes of Bastian Boos, Harry King, and Nathan Sharp, many, many others that Jan Kaspelik takes under his wing. He mentors them, he trains them, and we've seen them going on to great things in GT3 racing and beyond that. And Allied Racing fielding 2 cars in this weekend. Harry King in that 5th place, still tracking down Larry ten Voorde. He's driving for Proton Huber Competition, another team, a legendary team run by Christoph Huber. We're looking at Karel Krent there in the number 43 car, challenging for 14th place from Horst Felix Feldmayer. Karel, who spent last night, well, he spent about 4 hours yesterday at the local hospital, not for himself, but for his dad, who had injured himself. And pleased to say his dad's all well, just cut himself quite badly. But Karel spending way too much time at the hospital, not enough time at the racetrack. We say get well soon to Karel Krent's dad. Meanwhile, Karel's saying maybe it was a lucky charm and I can push my way forwards. Well, Horst Felix Feldmayer has something to say about that, because he's in 14th place ahead of the number 43 car. Ahead of Horst Felix Feldmayer is Søren Spreng, who has a great lead in the Pro-Am race, up into 13th place overall. There is Gianluca Tucciaroglu, another one of the talent pool. The group of drivers that are trained and mentored by Wolf Hensler, the former Porsche Works driver, teaches them everything they need to know all about racing, but not just that, physical fitness, mental health, how to conduct yourself in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, how to attract sponsors. They even have etiquette lessons, how to conduct yourself when you're at a posh dinner, like they are going to be going to that. There are 7 drivers this season in the talent pool. One of them is our race leader, putting all the lessons he's learned to good use and leading Huub van Eindhoven by 2.674 seconds. But on this circuit, which is very abrasive on the tyres, it is about going the distance, and having that big gap is important, but you need to have the grip at the end of the race. We're at the 1/3 point of the race. It is Theo Overhuis who leads the way. Huub van Eindhoven, Janis Stiak in the number 15 car in 3rd place. Janis, who's looking for his 2nd ever podium, on board with Larry ten Voorde, who shocks the world this week by announcing that he was going to be retiring from Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup and also Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And if the race finished now, he would be extending his championship lead to 26 points. The drivers are awarded 25 points for a win. But Larry ten Voorde just explained that he is very motivated by training and coaching other drivers, and is setting up the Larry ten Voorde Driver Academy. So we'll see many of his protégés, no doubt, coming through the ranks over the next few years. Theo Overhuis, if the race finished now, would move up into 3rd place, 62 points adrift of the championship leader, with Robert de Haan in that 4th place. Still plenty of points available this season as Gianluca Tucciaroglu challenges Carol Craig for the last of the points-paying positions in the overall race. That's 15th. And Carol Craig says to Gianluca Tucciaroglu, here, have a face full of gravel. But Tucciaroglu, not deterred by that, has a look to the inside, has a look to the outside. Carol Craig adopting the inside line into turn 1 in the background. Nathan Sharp looking to bounce as well. We're on board with Gianluca Tucciaroglu. This is for 15th place. I was talking about the points. There are 150 points coming into this race that are available to the drivers. There will be 125 after this race. So the championship's still very much open, albeit Larry ten Voorde in control. And that was that messy moment for Carol Craig out of turn 13. He was in 3rd gear, about 106 kilometers an hour. Then it is flat out along the pit straight in towards turn 1, into 5th gear as they head into turn 1. They'll be going to be reaching here about 230 kilometers an hour, pulling about 8,200 RPM, and a little bit of weaving there, just trying to fend off the position. Looking down from turn 11, the waterfall, reaching 250 kilometers an hour, about 7,700 RPM. And there is Alex Tauscher in car number 13. We've seen nothing else on our screens relating to Alex Tauscher or Harry King for potentially starting in an incorrect grid position. I will keep one eye on that and let you know if anything develops. But at the moment, the driver who won that emotional race at the Nürburgring last time out, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, sees a gap on the inside of Carol Craig, this time up into 15th place and sails through. But it was an emotional win for Alex Tauscher at the Nürburgring. He's currently in 13th place at the moment, though, so no such glory here at the Sachsenring, because Søren Spreng has just found a route through for Alex Tauscher. Having a moment, we're having a look at it here. He gets together with Cas Havercourt. So Tauscher going spinning. He's into the gravel trap. He's able to keep it going. Does he keep it out of the barrier? This is a great view on board. And the number 24 car, Cas Havercourt, on the inside, the slightest bit of contact. That is up in turn 10. He goes spinning around. Does he keep it out the barrier? I think he just about does, but that is why Alex Tauscher has dropped down into 13th place. That's under investigation by our race stewards, but having been feeling under the weather all week long, Alex Tauscher's mood will not be improved anymore by that incident there. But fortunately, doesn't look like there's any damage, and he's able to re-continue. So Cas Havercourt in the number 24 car into the 9th place that was previously occupied by Alex Tauscher. Needless to say, that is under investigation. 2nd and 3rd place, where you can see there the gap evolution. Janis Stiak keeping the pressure on Huub van Eindhoven for that 2nd place. The gap between them is just 0.6 of a second. So Janis Stiak now turning the heat up. Behind them in 4th place, Larry ten Voorde, not in a podium position, but it's about scoring the points. Larry ten Voorde cannot afford a DNF at the moment, and he knows that if he stays in front of Harry King, he will continue to stretch his legs at the top of the championship. Robert de Haan has made his way up into 10th place, if you're wondering where he is, so a long way back for him still at the moment. So de Haan trying to fight his way forwards from what was a very difficult qualifying session. He started 13th, he's up to 10th, but he would have it in the back of his mind that tomorrow he's going to be starting stone last. He was disqualified from qualifying for race 2 as we ride on board with Ariel Levy. He was disqualified for a infringement of Parc Fermé rules. Right, penalty laps incoming for Harry King, an incorrect starting position. Harry King and Alex Tauscher are both going to need to visit the penalty box. So Harry King, this is a disaster for him. It's going to be the equivalent of adding about 5 seconds onto his lap time. The stewards have had a look and decided that both Harry King and Alex Tauscher did not start in the correct position. So Harry King's championship challenge is going to take another hit as he visits the penalty box. We're on board with Gianluca Tucciaroglu, who's having a very lively race. Fighting with Horst Felix Felbermayr for 14th place at the moment, fighting and indeed winning, finding his route past Horst Felix Felbermayr. But Harry King and Alex Tauscher both will need to visit the penalty box, and this is going to drop Harry King back down the order. Currently in 5th place, Flint Schuring is only half a second behind Harry King, so he will steal that position away. Ariel Levy, Senna Van Zerlen are all in close succession, so by my calculation, it's going to drop him down to about 8th or 9th place. Looking again at Horst Felix Felbermayr, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, that was the move. I think Tucciaroglu had 3 shredded wheats for breakfast this morning because he has really got his elbows out in the HP Racing car, the Team A Works car, and the team that is co-owned by Harold Prochik. Now that's Robert de Haan smoking the tyre, locking up a brake into turn 1. You think Robert de Haan is potentially just pushing really hard. He knows that his championship challenge is hanging by a thread here. Poor qualifying for today. It was an infringement of Parc Fermé rules that saw him disqualified from tomorrow's qualifying race, which means he will start at the very back. The race stewards have had a look at the incident between Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Horst Felix Felbermayr. We're riding on board with Ariel Levy. He is in 7th place at the moment, but he is going to move up to 6th place once Harry King has been into the penalty box. Harry will have to do that fairly soon. In fact, he's done that now. You can see he's dropped down into 8th place. So Harry King has been through the penalty box. That is going to hurt. It's allowed Senna Van Zerlen, Ariel Levy, Flint Schuring all to come through. So Gianluca Tucciaroglu has been instructed to fall back behind Horst Felix Felbermayr for an incorrect overtaking manoeuvre. They've decided that that contact that we saw as we look at Ariel Levy adjusting the brake balance as we head into turn 1, but the stewards have decided that the contact that took place between Tucciaroglu and Felbermayr was out of order, that they told him to give that position back. So some great angles on Ariel Levy here. Car 25, the driver who took his first podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany this year. He's only been racing, that's a great shot, he's not adjusting the camera, he's adjusting the brake balance. But Ariel Levy, I'll remind you, he's been racing in cars for less than 3 years and has been very impressive indeed. In the number 25 Uniserva by GP Elite, the team that is co-run by Torsten van Haasteren, and with Ariel Levy, he got a 3rd place. And Oschersleben became the first Israeli to ever stand on a podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Has had a couple of 4th places as well, but looking to get back on the podium. 6th place at the moment, solid position, but with 10.5 minutes remaining, is probably going to struggle to get into a podium position. The top step of the podium in the rookie race at the moment, it's Flint Schering in 5th place overall. Senna van Zerlen in 7th overall is 2nd in the rookies, another who has been very impressive. Now that's somebody's splitter that is lying on the track halfway down the waterfall. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether stewards decide that we might need some kind of caution to remove that. I think we're about to find out where it came from. And it was from Alex Tauscher's car. So Alex Tauscher's car will be handling something close to like a shopping trolley with the removal of that piece of bodywork, a small piece of bodywork, but very critical. He's indicating left going into the corner. I don't know if that's a signal to somebody or whether that's just on by mistake. In the background, Keanu Bloom, who has also been very much in the wars, but fighting back under pressure from Gianluca Tucciaroglu, who has once again decided to get his elbows out and get stuck in. We need a camera just on Gianluca here. Very entertaining stuff from the number 91 driver. Not really paying off though. He's down in 18th place. Just behind him is Michael Essmann. He's 2nd in the Pro-Am race. The leading Pro-Am driver is Søren Spreng. Right, seeing the cars at the moment, challenges for position. One of the comments that we get is that we can't hear the cars very often, so I'm just going to give you a few moments to actually listen to the glory of these Porsche 911 cars. Have a listen to what 510 brake horsepower, 4-litre naturally aspirated sounds like. On board with Michael Essmann. You just get an idea of how loud these cars are, the scream of the transmission. Wonderful stuff. Up ahead, the view from Gianluca Tucciaroglu, Horst Felix Feldmar, Keanu Bloom running side by side into turn 1. Tucciaroglu's gonna make it 3 abreast. Into turn 1 they come. What an audacious move from car 91, from 17th up to 15th place in one move. Horst Felix Feldmar, didn't see that coming. Keanu Bloom there as well. Michael Essmann has a grandstand view. Now Bloom to the inside of Felbermeyer, squeezing his way through. Great stuff up towards turn 5, reaching about 5,800 RPM, 111 kilometers an hour in 3rd gear at the top of that hill, and then back down to turn 7, a 4th gear turn. But let's have another look there. Felbermeyer and Bloom alongside each other onto the pit straight, but look at Tucciaroglu. Decides he's going to take a 3 abreast move here as they run along past the pits. He moves to the left as they head into turn 1, then ducks back to the inside and steals the position away. Look at the side of Felbermeyer's car. I think the crew, Team Proton Huber, are going to have to do a fair bit of work there on that car just to tidy it up after this race. While all that's going on, Theo Overhaus has stretched his legs further, looking for his first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He has 7 more minutes to hold on. He has a very healthy 5.1 second lead over Huub van Eindhoven and Janis Stiak, who is now about 1.1 behind Huub van Eindhoven. So it looks like Van Eindhoven has fended off the attentions of Janis Stiak, championship leader Larry ten Voorde in that 4th place. He's 7 seconds back from the race leader, but very much with the bigger picture in mind. He wants to retire from Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany with his 4th title. He's already the most successful driver in this historic series, a series that has been running for 35 years. We celebrated the 400th race of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany last time out at Nürburgring. And Larry Voorde on very much his final season in this series, looking to go out with a bang. We're looking at Sebastian Freimert and Robert De Haan. De Haan in 10th place at the moment and coming under pressure from Sebastian Freimert. And De Haan perhaps struggling a little bit for grip in the number 14 Team 75 Bernhard car. Sebastian Freimert, another of the many Proton Huber Competition cars, the team that is run by Christoph Huber, another of the legends who mentors young drivers. Of course, there is Robert De Haan just locking up into turn one. Is he going to go deep? Is he going to lose that position to Sebastian Freimert? Robert De Haan claws it back around turn one. Freimert not able to take advantage at the moment. Into Castrol Omega again, a lock up from Robert De Haan. Clearly, he's got issues with that number 14 car, but he's collected Sebastian Freimert. I think he's broken the steering on the number 31 car, because Freimert now, after that small collision, has gone to a crawling pace in the number 31 car. You can see some smoke coming from it now. Was it a steering breakage? Is there a tyre dam? Whatever it was, have another look here. There is Robert De Haan locking up into turn one. Freimert just behind him. But De Haan clearly with some issues there. Freimert taking a little bit to the grass to try and find that position, using a lot of the curb as well. But it was here around turn three, the Castrol Omega. That is where it all came undone. Freimert dropping back. The incident has been noted by our stewards, and yes, it is broken steering and a puncture by the looks of things on the number 31 car. He spears off into the gravel trap. Now, where has that come to a rest? Because I think he's up at turn 11. If he is stranded in the gravel, we may well get a full course yellow or a even safety car, which for Theo Overhaus, with a 5.7 second lead, would be very bad news, unless, of course, they took their time removing the car. At the moment, neither, because Freimert is still moving. So he has got it out of the gravel trap. He's going to crawl up through 13 and back into the pits. They won't be using that tyre rim again. I'll make a lovely coffee table to someone that will. Into the pit lane he comes. Probably no issues with the speed limit there. He will bring the number 31 car into the Proton Huber garage and into retirement. And that's such a shame, because he was making good progress in the number 31 car. But his day is over. He will have a review of all of that and come back and do it all again tomorrow. But with 3.5 minutes remaining of this race, certainly nothing to be done for the number 31 car. Everything to be done for Theo Overhaus, because he has a lead. How big is it? He crosses the line, 5.592 seconds. A comfortable lead over Huber Eindhoven. He, in turn, is 1.1 seconds ahead of Janis Stiak. So the first three looking pretty solid. Larry Voorde, though, not given up yet. In fourth place, fancies a little bit more silverware on his cabinet. In that fourth place, just half a second back from Janis Stiak. Now, further back, Blin Schuring, Ariel Levy going side by side briefly for fifth place. Schuring leading in the rookie race. He needs the points here. Second in the rookie race is Senna van Serlen. He is about half a second back from Ariel Levy. So 5th, 6th and 7th on the track. This is very important for the Rookie Championship. Mikael Essmann, very important for the Pro-Am race. He was second in the Pro-Am race. I think Guy Pfister and Christoph Lange are going to come sailing through to steal second place in the Pro-Am race away. Christoph Lange is a guest driver, so he won't be scoring points. But Mikael Essmann did not need that moment there. That is Essmann, who was into turn one. He was on the inside of Horst Felix Feldmayer, just getting it wrong under braking. Whether there was an issue with the car or not remains to be seen. He locked up the right front. Going into turn one, the car went deep into the gravel trap. He was able to keep it rolling, but he's lost a load of positions as a result of that. So he was 10 points behind Søren Spreng in the Pro-Am race coming into this race. The Pro-Ams are scoring half the number of points as the drivers in the overall race. But that 10 points is going to be opened up further if Mikael Esmond has lost second place in the Pro-Am race. I suspect that probably is the case, although according to our graphic there, he's still in 17th place. At the moment, Theo Overhaus continues on his way, leading the way, 4.6 seconds. So, Hu van Eindhoven has reeled him in a little, but not enough to challenge at the moment. It's the 27th race for Theo Overhaus, looking for his first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He's visited the podiums 3 times. His best result was a second place in Budapest earlier this year. Now he is just a few seconds away from what could potentially be his first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Lots of challenges further back because Robert de Haan still fighting for position, but still clearly with handling issues. That's Jean-Luc Tucharoglu who's come through. So Robert de Haan has continued his march backwards through the field. So big issues with the number 14 car. So we are into the last 10 seconds of timed racing of this race 11 of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and that is potentially why our race leader lost a load of time to Hu van Eindhoven. That was a massive lockup for Theo Overhaus. He's kept it all pointing in the right direction. He's still well clear at the moment. The clock has struck 0, so it will be what remains of this lap for Theo Overhaus, then one more, and Theo Overhaus will see the checker flag and receive his first ever race win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Hu van Eindhoven's wait for his first win continues on for another race at the moment. He will see the race leader up ahead of him, but second place is still a very, very good result for the Dutch driver. At the moment, Theo Overhaus continues on his way. We're riding on board with third place, Janis Stiak, the number 15 car. It will be a second podium for Janis Stiak as we start the final lap of the race, race 11 of the season here at the Sachsenring. For Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Theo Overhaus just gently treading into turn 1 and around into turn 2. So important not to make a mistake now. Round the tricky turn 3, the Castrol Omega turn, and then he will head up the hill towards turn 4, up to the blind crest of turn 5 he comes in the number 34 car. Around turn 5 and turn 6, then it's downhill once again towards turn 7, a corner that is taken in 4th gear at about 175 kilometers an hour. Then back on the accelerator out towards turn 8. Then the climb uphill towards turn 9. He will come. It'll be another blind crest ahead of him. Turn 10, he'll take that in about 4th gear, 170 kilometers an hour. Then around into turn 11 and down the waterfall he will come towards turn 12 for the very, very last time. Now, dare he dream, Theo Overhaus, who has been bubbling under for so long in the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. One more corner for Theo Overhaus. Out onto the pit straight he comes. It's gonna be a first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany for Theo Overhaus. He crosses the line for Bonk Motorsport, taking his first ever win. Brilliant stuff here at the Sachsenring. He's been looking dialed in from the moment he arrived. His 27th race in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. And we knew it was going to come. It was only a matter of time. And finally, Theo Overhaus takes the top step of the podium. He is the 5th driver this year to take a first win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We saw a first-time win for Robert de Haan, for Marvin Clam, for Cas Havercourt, for Alex Tauscher. Now it's Theo Overhaus who can add his name to the list of winners in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. The rest of the pack coming through. Huber van Eindhoven, a solid second place. Janis Stiak with his second podium. Championship leader Larry ten Voorde will extend his lead further in the championship because Harry King, after that visit to the penalty box, is down in 8th place. The winner in the rookie category, Flint Schuring, takes his second ever win in the rookies. Senna van Serlen, second place. Cas Havercourt, third. And it's a win in the Pro-Ams for Søren Spreng. Here is your classification, subject to confirmation. Theo Overhaus, Huber van Eindhoven, Janis Stiak, Larry ten Voorde, Flint Schuring, Ariel Levy, 6th place there. Senna van Serlen, second in the rookies. Harry King rounding out the top 8. He's got to see the championship a little bit slipping away. He'll know he's got plenty of time to turn it all around, but once again, he's outscored by the Flying Dutchman that is Larry ten Voorde. Cas Havercourt, valuable points in the rookie standings. Ahead of Carol Krent, a good job there in 10th place. The Pro-Am winner, Søren Spreng, ahead of Gianluca Tucciaroglu, 12th place for all that effort, ahead of Nathan Sharp, Keanu Bloom. Horst Felix Feldmayer in 15th, last of the overall points finishers. And then Robert de Haan all the way down in 16th place, second, despite that excursion. Mikael Esman, second in the Pro-Am race, ahead of Kai Pfister and Christoph Langer. And then we saw Alex Tausch is the last of the recorded finishers. Sebastian Freimer, Jan Seifert, James Kellett, he was a non-finisher. What happened to him? Recording a non-finish also, Colin Bernighausen. So two drivers that we saw very much in the wars earlier on recording a non-finish. Janis Stiak, his second visit to the podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Very rapid indeed. Certainly not his last podium. But the headline, Theo Overhaus is a winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. As is traditional, on to the roof of the car. There you can see the lead in the championship extended to 29 points by Larry ten Voorde. Theo Overhaus jumps up into 3rd place as a result of that. A fairly miserable day for Robert de Haan that is probably going to be just as miserable tomorrow when he starts last. Marvin Klant, who's not here this weekend, into 5th place. So Marvin Klant, not really, doesn't see himself as a championship contender. Decided to concentrate on Porsche Carrera Cup Italia this weekend, where he is very much a championship challenger. But Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, the toughest Carrera Cup series in the world. If you win here, you really are good. And Theo Overhaus, we've seen him over the years coming through the ranks, and we knew that that first win was not going to be far away. He's the current champion of Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East. He won 7 out of 12 races there. He's last year's rookie championship in this series. He was in the DTM Trophy in 2022, where he got a 3rd place there in their championship. We saw him in ADAC GT4 Germany back in 2022. We've seen him briefly in DTM, but it's here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Arguably the biggest challenge yet for Theo Overhaus. And very much a future champion. We hope we're going to see him back in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany next year. And if he is, there is no doubt he will be a championship challenger. He is a challenger this year, but he's got a lot of work to do to catch up with Harry King and Larry ten Voorde. So Theo Overhaus, who's also been racing in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup this year, but it is in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany that he takes that first win. And very shortly, he will make his way to the podium. Some great drives further back, and I'd say Carol Krent, well, he said, I wonder if my dad's visit to the hospital was going to be a lucky charm. Well, it has been, because Carol Krent, 10th place, by far his best result of the season so far. Janis Stiak, his second best result of the season, with a 3rd place for Team 75 Bernhard. In 2nd place, his best result of the season, Huber van Eindhoven. for Uniserve by GP Elite, and taking his best result ever in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Theo Overhaus for Bonk Motorsport to the top step of the podium. And a fairly solid drive. He got all the work done into turn one, and he just looked after the tyres, looked after the car, and led from lights to flag. And finally, they say it's the monkey off the back. The pressure is off. Huub van Eindhoven. The wait for his first win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany goes on, but you know it's only a matter of time before he stands on the top step of the podium. Had an awful lot of bad luck earlier on in the season. 3 races in a row where he had a puncture. Finally getting it sorted, showing the pace that he's capable of. But nobody could live with that man there today. The German driver, part of the talent pool. The young chargers all on the podium here. The old school looking over their shoulders. Seems weird calling Larry ten Voorde the old school, but yeah, Larry, who is the ripe old age of 27, something of a veteran in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Theo Overhaus, just 19 years old. Janis Stiak, who we had to check whether he was the youngest pole sitter for tomorrow's race. He's the second youngest pole sitter at 17 years old. And Huub van Eindhoven at 24. So the rest of the drivers gather. There's Flint Scheuring, younger brother of Maurice Scheuring, very much following in his footsteps. A real contender. Another future champion. One of the many Dutch drivers here. And there's Søren Spring on the right hand of your picture, who won in the Pro-Am race. He starts tomorrow's race not on pole position of the Pro-Am race, because the man in the red and black there, Mikael Esman, has pole position in the Pro-Am race tomorrow. Mikael, one of the great characters in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, who's keeping the pressure on Søren Spring all the way to the Pro-Am Championship. Søren Spring, of course, the defending champion in the Pro-Am category. Theo Overhaus, the outgoing champion in the rookie category. Larry ten Voorde, the 3-time champion, is the defending champion and championship leader in the overall category. Coming into this race in the team standings, Proton Huber had 292 points ahead of Uniserve by Team GP Elite. Right, here we go, podium time. There's Janis Stiak, always understated, fairly quiet person. He lets his driving do the talking. That's what he's done today. Second place, Huub van Eindhoven, equaling his best ever score in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Got a second place at the end of last season at Hockenheim, but taking his first ever win, Theo Overhaus to the top step of the podium. And it'll be Bonk Motorsport who get a representative. Mikael Bonk, the team manager, I do believe, is coming onto the podium to receive the trophy on behalf of Bonk Motorsport. So we pause for the national anthem. So family, friends, crew, all looking on at the podium presentation. Thorsten Rucker, project manager, customer sport, took over the role this year, doing a fantastic job for Porsche Germany. A real hard worker presenting the trophy to somebody who had to work very hard in that race. Huber van Eindhoven getting that second place. And Torsten presenting a winning trophy to Theo Overhaus. And that's Marius Kramer, I do believe, then. So it wasn't Mikael Bonk who was going to take the team trophy. So the drivers posing for photos. The driver on the far right-hand side of your screen will be starting tomorrow's race from pole position. Janis Stiak with his first ever pole, but he will have Larry ten Voorde for company alongside him. Huber van Eindhoven will line up third, and keep an eye on Colin Bernighausen, who qualifies in fourth. Harry King will start in fifth place, and the winner from this race, Theo Overhaus, will line up in sixth. It is set fair for what will be a lively race, especially as Robert de Haan will be coming through from the back of the pack. It's going to be a race not to miss, but the headline, race 1 at Sachsenring for this weekend, race 11 of the season. Theo Overhaus is a race winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We'll see you tomorrow.